So hi, welcome to another interview from our Classical Crossover Magazine interview series. I'm really honoured and really excited to be interviewing the lovely Emer Barry today. Hi Emer, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm not too bad. How are you finding all of this lockdown scenario?
It's quite surreal, isn't it? It's a whole other world, but I've kept myself busy. There's nothing worse than not having a reason to get up in the morning, you know. So I've been making lots of videos and collaborating with lots of people and fundraising and things like that. So yeah, I mean, as long as I'm busy and as long as I'm making music, I'm happy. So far so good. We'll see how long it lasts. I miss the live performances, but they won't be gone forever. So
Oh, excellent. So we'll have to so you'll have to let us know a little bit about that in a second. So
yeah.
I thought what we'd do is we'd start off, if someone hasn't heard of the lovely Emer Barry, and if they haven't heard of you, then they should have. Could you tell us a little bit about yourself and about your music?
Yeah, well, I started out as an opera singer. I got a master's in opera and I studied with English National Opera. And it was after that I kind of went, oh God, I don't think this is what I want to do. So I had everything done and I kind of went, I don't love the music enough to give that much time and energy to it. And being an opera singer is so huge, so time consuming and so extraordinary. And I felt with classical crossover that I could have a little bit more freedom in the repertoire choice and the way that I used my voice. But I think because of all of the training that I've had, there's always going to be an element of an operatic sound in what I do. So it's kind of, I think everything I've done has influenced the sound that I have, which I would probably describe somewhere between opera and kind of Celtic music. So, yeah, I mean, gosh, who would you just, I guess when I'm asked to describe it, I say somewhere between Sarah Brightman and Enya. That's kind of where I fall ish.
Beautiful. And I've heard your voice. You've got a really beautiful voice, and it's actually very unique as well. And I think that's what one of the most amazing thing about classical crossover is. You can bring these kind of genres together and become really expressive, but it becomes your own voice.
Exactly. It's you're not confined by, say, for example, you have to sing this way because you have to be heard over an orchestra without a microphone. It's very much down to the artist to decide, okay, I have a microphone, don't have to worry about that. So how do I want to sound in order to bring the emotion across? And at the end of the day, that's the important thing.
And how are you finding taking care of your voice and your physicality, during the lockdown? Because we, as singers, we tend to have our routines, don't we?
Yeah.
Do you find that it's really affected you?
Definitely. I have found it difficult, particularly because I live in an apartment, and I'm very aware of the fact that I'm living in the middle of lots of other people who don't know me. So are people above me and below me and on all sides. And they're all pretty much at home, not being able to go out either. So my choice is either sing as much as I want to sing and annoy everybody, or cut down my practice so that I'm kind of, considerate of other people. And I've chosen that. But unfortunately, it means that I don't get to exercise my voice as much as I would like to. And I'm finding that it's taking me longer now to kind of, to sound the way I want to sound.
Yeah.
You take for granted how much you just use your voice going and doing a gig, even if it's a 20-minute gig.
Yeah.
So the fact that I'm not doing that, I find it takes me a lot longer to warm up. And I kind of feel a little bit sort of like, gosh, I don't remember singing being this difficult,
Yeah.
And you take it for granted kind of when you're out gigging all the time.
Yeah, totally. And I think even though we always want to be heard, we actually don't want people to hear us when we're warming up, because they're not the nicest sounds that you make when you're warming up.
I make the oddest sounds to get my voice to the place where it kind of is smooth. But getting there is not a pretty journey. So
Yeah.
my poor neighbors, people keep saying on Facebook, "Oh, I'd love to be your neighbor," you know? And I'm like, no, you wouldn't though, because there's a lot of warbling and screeching that happens before I get to the good sound, you know? So I feel quite sorry for my poor neighbors. They haven't complained yet, but we'll see.
Well, maybe you just need to do a little concert for them, and then they'll forgive the warming up.
Maybe. I do have a balcony. I'm seeing a lot of people performing on balconies these days, so maybe that's become a thing. Maybe I'll have to go out in the balcony and just sing a bit of Nessun Dorma to them.
I think that's a great idea, and if you do, please record it and let us know.
Yes,
you're going to do it.
I will. It may not happen, but you'll be the first to know about it if it does.
Well, I'm pretty lucky because my neighbour, she's in her 90s, and her hearing is going a bit, so I constantly apologize for the noise, and she's like, "It's okay, dear, it's lovely." So
Fantastic.
I really do feel really, really lucky at the moment.
Yeah.
But I used to live in a flat with people above, below, and sides, and I know
it's stressful, you know. Like you're just sort of like you're sort of singing, and then like part of you is saying I'm sorry, and then you're like, well, they don't know that I'm saying I'm sorry, you know. So it's just this really inhibited type of warming up, which, as you know, as a singer, being inhibited kind of doesn't lead you to the best sound. So that's been challenging, but I've managed, and I've kind of, you know, I've managed to figure out warm-ups that aren't too loud. There's a great technique singing through a straw. I don't know if you've ever tried that.
Yes.
But it's really good for kind of warming your voice up without making lots and lots of noise. So I have managed to record some things that I'm happy with, and I've put up on Facebook. But there's been a lot of stuff that's gone in the nobody will ever hear of in.
Yeah, I tend to do a lot of humming and lots of kind of like breath exercises.
Yes, that
aren't noisy, and then with the straw, and I tend to find that really gets me going. But you know, it's when you have to open up, that's what you want, isn't it?
That's it, and that's the part where you're just holding back because you're apologizing and at the same time trying to work yourself out, so it's a bit tricky.
Hunger and pain, I am the voice that
So tell me about these recordings that you said you put online. Have you been doing them at home, or?
Yeah, so I invested a small amount in a home recording studio way before the lockdown, and I've become kind of good at sort of figuring out how to use all of that. So I have my own microphone and my own little room and my own little light and everything, and I've done some collaborations with people. The one that I released actually most recently was a collaboration project with people from different countries. So so there's a song called, the song When You Believe from The Prince of Egypt.
Oh yes, yeah.
Well, because that was a DreamWorks movie, it was translated into lots of different languages. So I got Mary Jess from the UK, who was the winner of Chinese X Factor, to sing the Chinese part. I got a couple of opera singers then to do a Spanish opera singer, a French opera singer, an Italian opera singer, and a guy living in Germany who's an opera singer. And everybody kind of took a section, and then we spliced it all together and created this sort of song of unity type thing, where all the countries kind of united to sing this one anthem. So that was kind of a great project. Kept me busy for a while.
That sounds amazing. And is it out now? When can we see it?
Yeah, it was released today, which is so today is what day is today? God, about 6th of May.
Yeah.
So it was released on the 6th of May, and we're raising money for Médecins Sans Frontières, Doctors Without Borders, because, well, one of the reasons is my brother is a doctor with the MSF for the past 10 years. So they do amazing work, and especially at this time, they're particularly affected in the countries that they're based. So there's a fundraising link for that, and just in general we kind of just wanted to lift the spirits of people, and it's a very uplifting song, a very kind of it's all about miracles and believing that the sun will come out after it all.
Well, I'm a firm believer that this all shall pass as well at some point.
And it will. We just need to stay positive, because
exactly.
The worst thing, if you allow yourself get negative about it, you'll just feel worse, and it won't help you kind of get out of this situation any longer. We have to accept that it is what it is for now, but nothing lasts forever. So I mean, I see it, I don't know about you, but I see it sort of as my job at the moment to sort of keep people uplifted and try and release songs that are happy. They're kind of hard to come by sometimes.
Well, I tend to sing always sad songs, so I'm trying to keep a low profile at the moment.
I know,
but I really enjoy the musical theatre at this time, because they always seem to have like the happy end. Most
this is it.
They have the happy ending kind of vibe to them, don't they?
Yeah, so, and it's something to kind of get people's spirits up,
Exactly. And I've seen before that you do these live. Are they called the butterfly sessions?
Oh yeah,
they're really beautiful. Are you continuing them? Are you working on them?
Yeah, so I mean, I had every intention of continuing those before the lockdown. And then when the lockdown happened, I thought I would do some more collaborations with people and, duets and things like that. And then I spent a lot of time doing that recent video with all different countries. So now that's over, I'll probably do some more butterfly sessions. They're actually a symbol of, the butterfly idea was actually a symbol of classical crossover music, because the way I think of it is it's literally like a butterfly flying from flower to flower and picking kind of bits off each one and traveling along, and it's this cross-pollination of styles. So the butterfly is a symbol, I suppose, of classical crossover music, and then I happen to have a screen that has a big butterfly on it.
It's beautiful, and it looks beautiful, and it sounds wonderful. So if you haven't seen the I think they're called the butterfly sessions.
The butterfly sessions, there's some on my Facebook page.
Yeah, if you haven't seen them, please go check them out, because they're really, really, they're really beautiful.
There's such a lot of world to see. We're after the same rainbow's end, waiting round the bend, my huckleberry friend, Moon River and me.
I know that we've all kind of had to cancel a lot of our bookings and stuff at the moment.
Yeah.
Have you got future plans at all musically that
Well,
you're thinking about?
I do. Well, like I was supposed to do a performance for Audrey Hepburn in June in the National Concert Hall, and I've had to cancel that, unfortunately, because it's, I mean, even if the hall is open, it's just not really, anyway, we don't know where things are going to be, especially not this close. I am planning to do a tour in the US in December. This will be the 7th time that I do a Christmas tour. But again, I don't know what it's going to be like at the moment, getting visas and things like that. I really hope we can go over this year, because it's the highlight of my year. I absolutely love it, and we know a lot of people over there now, and so I don't know. Hopefully that will happen. At the moment, I'm just kind of taking it one day at a time. I have tentative plans in my diary, but I just kind of don't want to get my hopes up too much that that these things will happen. But fingers crossed for America in December, and then a few little things before then. So we'll see what happens.
Oh well, I'll keep my fingers crossed that the tour does go ahead, and I'm sure it'd be wonderful. Do you have a kind of theme that you sing to?
Yeah, so in America, it's very much the Celtic kind of the Celtic style that we perform. It's my group Affinity, so there's harp and violin, and I'm the singer. So it's called A Celtic Christmas, and it does exactly what it says on the tin. It's Christmas music and Irish music.
Oh.
So yeah, I mean, we absolutely love it, and there's some jigs and reels in there as well. I get a break from singing because I'm, you can't doing a full concert by myself. And we tour also with a guy called Howard Crosby, who's the nephew of Bing Crosby. So he's become a friend of ours for the last kind of 10 years. So hopefully, I mean, he's really looking forward to it as well. He performs with us on stage. So I don't know, we'll see. Well,
I'll keep my fingers crossed for you, as I'm
Thank you
sure
so much.
all of the viewers are. And if people would like to check you out, yourself and your group Affinity, where can people find you?
Well, myself and Affinity, first of all, we share a YouTube channel, so that's probably the best place to find us all together. So we have a YouTube channel. It's called Emer Barry and Affinity.
Okay.
And then we have separate Facebook pages. So I'm Emer Barry Soprano, and then Affinity Music, and Affinity is spelt with an I at the end instead of a Y. Okay. So they're probably the best places. I'm also on Instagram and Twitter, but I sometimes forget to post on there. So I'm much better on YouTube and Facebook, but I'm getting there. I'm getting there with Instagram. Twitter I use for just kind of, Twitter I post just very different things. I retweet and I post kind of things that make me laugh during the day. So that's kind of different.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
It's very time consuming, isn't it? All of the social media. Because
oh gosh.
I call them monsters, literally, because you start feeding one and then the other one wants some, and then this one wants some, and you're just thinking, I need to actually take the time to create the content to put on there.
So put on it. No, honestly, and then one will always get neglected as soon as you start focusing on another one. So anyway, but the best place to find me is probably I'm most active on Facebook, I'd say, and you'd find probably a little bit more personal stuff from me on Twitter, because I'm a bit more cheeky on there.
Oh nice. So just finally to ask you one last question.
Yeah.
It's, just a fun thing really is, what is one of the fun things that you've missed during the lockdown, and is that what are you going to do when it kind of ends? Is that what you're going to do?
So I suffer from a lot of tension in my shoulders, and I really miss getting a massage. I know that I really, and I don't know when that's going to come back, but it's my little treat, the thing I treat myself to. You know, other people will be rushing to hairdressers and nail salons, whatever, and I just want someone to walk on my back.
I am totally with you there. We have a Thai massage near where I live, and they walk on your back, and it's just,
oh my gosh,
it's just the most wonderful thing. And
yeah,
you have to be pretty strong and brave to do it, but I'm totally with you there.
Yeah, that's my treat. But I suppose in terms of like a more realistic thing, the first thing I would do is go down and visit my mum, who lives kind of an hour and a half away, and I haven't seen her. I mean, I talk to her every day, but
are you Zooming with her?
Poor Mammy doesn't understand how to use Zoom at all. God almighty, she's not tech savvy at all. She did discover emojis recently, so she sent lots of those in text messages. But no, we sometimes manage a FaceTime, but then the camera isn't really on her face, so there's kind of no point. She's sort of like, can you see me? Am I there? So so phone calls are fine for her. She's plenty with a phone call.
Well, I'm sending her all my love. I know it's not
Thank
easy
you.
when we're not seeing our parents. I feel the same, not being able to see them. But I'm lucky that she is pretty tech savvy. And whenever I call her, she's like, "Oh, I can't speak to you. I'm on a Zoom with somebody else right now." I'm like,
my goodness, she's brilliant.
Yeah, so
very impressed.
So I'm pretty lucky. So anyway, Emer, it's been such a lovely time talking with you. Thank you so much for joining us.
No problem.
I hope that in the next months to come, we'll see however long this lasts, that we actually meet in real life. And
that would be lovely.
We can get together and have a nice cup of tea and a chat.
Absolutely.
All music stuff.
Sounds wonderful. It'd be lovely to see you in 3D.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, you take care, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Bye. Bye.